There was some news in recruiting real quick that we're going to touch. First off, Jaden O'Neal has transferred to Mustang. As you know, Jaden O'Neal is currently the commit at the Oklahoma quarterback commit.
The Mustang Bronco.
He has moved to Oklahoma and was in California before this. Interesting right now because he's also just said he's going to be in Georgia over the weekend coming up. Mm-hmm. So BV obviously has a no visit, no visit policy or rule if you're committed, right? And I actually don't think it even takes away the scholarship offer. I know it doesn't take away the commitment of the scholarship offer. It's just they treat you as though you're not committed because they don't.
So they continue to recruit.
They would continue to recruit, right? So
which would, to me, it makes sense if I'll put it in not realistic terms, but like drama terms. If you had proposed to me and gave me a ring, said you're committed to me, and then the next weekend was like, but I'm gonna go hang out with this chick this weekend, I'm gonna have some questions.
You wouldn't be a fan of that?
No. So it'd be like, wait, hold up. What do you mean you're committed to me? Mm-hmm. Why do you need this other chick? I'm just saying. So I think I would keep my options open there too. I mean, personally, there would be no more options. I would just be done.
You would be done with it?
But this is not that serious necessarily. But I get the point. If you're committed, be committed.
Yeah, and
but also, I'm also very pro take all your trips, which I don't think they have a limit. But I'm very pro with. Wow, we're a tiny little box. There we are.
That was kind of odd.
I do definitely need to take all your trips. Go where, you feel like you at least need to try out. But then don't say you're committed to someone.
Right.
But maybe he is. Maybe there's an ulterior reason. Maybe, I don't know. I was going to say maybe his mom is a Georgia fan and always wanted to see Georgia. And so
yeah, who's that on you?
they're going to go see Georgia. But okay, I don't know.
Yeah. That's funny.
But it is interesting that you had moved to Oklahoma and then not stay. But
that is actually very interesting.
It's a pretty big move.
And that brings up the other quarterback we had on campus over the weekend, 4-star quarterback Bo Bentley.
What a name.
That is a good name, isn't it?
Alliteration.
See him right here. There are a lot of, and you can see his comment here about his weekend. He says, one of the biggest takeaways from this visit is how much of a priority, which is an interesting thing to put in there, I am to them. And I believe that Jaden O'Neal was offered. Well, I don't believe. I know we all do that he was offered under the previous offensive coordinator, and that this guy is a guy who Ben Arbuckle really wants. And with his record of quarterbacks, it's hard to say he shouldn't be the one to have the final say.
Right.
And maybe Jaden O'Neal is getting that vibe from him too, and he's saying, "I'm going to make sure all my options are open in case they do go with him." And yeah, fair enough. I think that's
because we still have Michael Hawkins too.
Yeah. Yep.
Sitting. I say sitting on the bench. I meant sitting like backup or sitting and waiting. And again, I kind of feel for the kid too, because in the sense that Mateer comes in, it's automatically, quarterback, which I get why, but at the same time it's like, dang. But I do think, based on just rumors I've heard, that why are we looking this up in front of everybody?
I didn't realize we were doing that. It's on me.
One of the things, though, that I have heard through the grapevine, so take that with a grain of salt.
Oh, I was wondering why you were.
Sorry. Well, I was thinking about how I wanted to say it or if I wanted to say it, but I've heard through the grapevine, take it with a grain of salt, that he doesn't feel ready. He didn't feel ready. Now, if you call his number, he's going to step up and do the best he can. That even his family felt like he wasn't quite ready yet and still has some learning and growing to do before,
sure.
Which is a very mature
way to look at it.
Because that's not an easy thing to say is, I want to sit and wait. I want to sit and learn. I want to grow and develop. That, to me, that's a very, very mature response. And again, maybe that's not true.
Sure.
But just based on the people who told me, I feel like it is. Like that, to me, they wouldn't feel the need to lie.
Well, and you also have a really good quarterback room. And what I was looking at, Cole Gonzalez was another kid that came in, and he was the finalist for the Walter Payton Award, which is given to the Division I FCS National Offensive Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. So, you have a really good quarterback room already there. And so if you're Jaden O'Neal, you might be wanting to balance my chances of getting early playing time whenever you're that highly recruited.
Right.
Like a DJ Lagway kind of did at Florida. And making sure that, if he thinks he can get time somewhere else, or if he thinks that even if he goes there, another quarterback is going to be preferenced over him, then I don't blame him at all for looking at different places.
Right. And also, man, was it the guy? I mean, what's the quarterback room in Georgia? Maybe he does think he has a better chance of getting on the field immediately. I mean, Carson Beck is gone.
Carson Beck's gone. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I just went blank on who the quarterback that played in the playoff was.
He had an awesome name too. Stockton.
Stockton.
Yeah, I think it is. But they also, they're pretty deep too at quarterback.
I was just curious. I mean, I just didn't know. We're trying to not have to press. Oof, poor Carson.
Quarterbacks. Why is this so hard to find, people?
Anybody remember what his name was? I thought it was Stockton.
I don't know.
Gunner
Stockton. Yeah.
Gunner Stockton. Woo!
But they also have Jaden Rashada. Jaden Rashada was a big 5-star quarterback out of high school too. So
I don't know then.
There's going to be a lot of people there. Yeah, he did play hard.
He did play well.
Game, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I know that he went on another Oklahoma podcast recently, and Jaden O'Neal, and did some interviews there. So,
well, that's true.
Who knows?
It's
interesting.
Yeah, and it looked, it's one of those. I guess it doesn't matter. You can always go anywhere you want if you're that highly recruited. So I mean, the fact he even moved to Oklahoma isn't going to be the deciding factor, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just interesting to kind of see the tea leaves fall into place and see. You got a kid that Arbuckle really wants, and then a kid that was recruited under the previous OC. It just, I think, makes sense to think that that other guy might prefer someone else. But